Ayy, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the checks. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ayy, winning like I ought to. I ain't wanna do it, but I got to. Smoking what my doctor told me not to. Got these wishing they was hot too. Ballin' like I need to. Got my exes wishing for a redo. Smell the marijuana when I speed through. Hit her with a tip, that's a preview. Hold up, wait up, get your weight up. Should get your money, not your hate up. Boy, draw a play up. I flip my wrist, this a layup. She wanna lay up. I gotta get it, I'ma stay up. I'm all the way up. I got my pay up. I ain't playing with you. I'm a coach now. Commentating, do the most now. I be somewhere booted with my toes down. Made little baby tooted with her nose down. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live.
What's up, good people? Welcome and happy Monday. Let me know that you can hear me in the chat by typing where you are viewing from. Where are you viewing from? Home, work, what state, what city, whatever you want to let me know. The bathroom? Just joking. Let me know where you are viewing from to let me know that you can hear me. We have a jammed packed afternoon live, and yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Thank you. Here we go. I'm saying a lot of highs. Thank you to Precious, Topaz, Miss TM, Donna, Power Dynamics, Roll, Soul Food Cooking, Nicole. Well, there are two Nicoles, Nicole and Nicole Driver. I think this is Precise and Lithia and Dawn and CEO and Lola and Trakeisha and Angela and Lady and Trina and Miss B and Cynthia and everyone else who has let me know you can hear me. My eyes are getting crossed trying to read quickly. Today, what we have on the agenda, besides me getting off camera for 1 second to put up my arrow on, I should have did that first, is we have two in-depth. We do have our missing persons alert, of course, and today we have two individuals, and these are two stories that as I got into them, they were so such big stories. They're national news that versus me kind of giving a rundown of 3 or 4 people, we're going to just do those two. And then the rest we'll do, tomorrow and so on. And then we have the news that I just received that Pee Wee Herman has passed away. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and his background. So that was just added, literally. We have Carlee Russell and what she's been up to since being arrested and released on bail. What was that, Friday, I think? And then we have the controversy between, I have here T.S. Madison versus Black women, but it's really a whole bigger thing than that completely. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that and kind of update you, for those of you who may not have been following it, what the hubbub is about. For the most part, it's deep, but on a surface level, what it's about. And then we have Tina Knowles files for divorce from her husband, Richard Lawson. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we have Cardi B and what she went through over the weekend while giving her fans, putting on a show, lip syncing show. Whole nother story with that. But while doing that, what occurred and how she reminded them where she's really from. Where she's really from. Thank you to everyone who has hit that like button on your way in. Please, if you have not as of yet, hit that like button. And remember, if you are new, to hit that subscribe button, because we always have trending topics, purpose-driven, while doing deep dives with a little bit of shenanigans sprinkled here and there, just to lighten the mood. Thank you to the 100% who are saying that you have that you have liked the live stream. So we're going to get into our first story, which is the story of a woman who is missing. Her name is Imani Robertson. And let me end this poll first. And it's Monday, so y'all know I'm warming back up. It does help going live as much as we've been going live, because it's a little bit easier once I get started. I just kind of snap into it. The only issue is the preparing part. That I'm still working on a flow for that. But we have the mysterious disappearance of Imani Robertson. She is a mom of 4 and had just had she has now a 6-week-old baby, and she has been missing for 2 weeks. And the unfortunate situation is that her SUV was found off Camp Creek Parkway near Union Road in Georgia. which was about 30 miles from where she was last seen. And the vehicle was towed from the scene while charred remains were scattered around where the vehicle lied as it was torched on fire. And as you can see, all that really remained was the logo from her Mazda SUV. And her family's last contact with her was her mother when Imani was leaving home on July 16th. And she was planning to pick up a few things from her prior home. And I haven't gotten clarity on, I haven't been able to really dig. I found out about this story this morning. But it's being said that she had went to, she was picking up her things so that she could move in with her mother. So I'm assuming she was going to her previous residence to pick up things to be able to go pick up her, to be able to move in with her mom. And the initial, there's been conflicting reports about the last scene location that she was at. And the initial report stated that from Rockdale County Sheriff's Office, it placed her in her SUV on Plantation Road in Connors, Georgia. And then they got an update, and the information has changed to her last place that the SUV was seen was in the city central apartments in Southwest Atlanta. And the family is very concerned with the, very concerned and very suspicious, of course, with all of this, because there's also, in addition to finding her car unfortunately charred, there's Ring doorbell footage from a neighbor's house that is suggesting that there was possibly a gunshot heard, and then her SUV was seen leaving her driveway after the loud banging sound, like, you know, a couple moments after. The family is concerned that this tragic event includes foul play by someone very close to Imani. And so I'm going to play a bit of a news clip that gives us a little bit more insight into that part of it.
Right now, folks, just hours ago, a disturbing discovery as authorities search for a missing mother of four out of Conyers. Imani Robertson vanished just 12 days ago, and last night, her torched SUV was found 30 miles away in Atlanta, and tonight, only in 11 alive. The father is sitting down with our very own Cody Alcorn. Now, Cody, this does not sound good at all.
No, Ron, not at all. In fact, Ronald Acklin believes his daughter has been killed.
This is the radiator.
That's off the emblem.
And that's all for the emblem also. And that's the front of the emblem right there.
The emblem from Imani Robertson's Mazda SUV, missing until 24 hours ago.
This is how we know something terrible has happened.
The white SUV found torched in this secluded area off Camp Creek Parkway in Southwest Atlanta.
She did not deserve this.
Ronald Acklin,
I am Imani's father.
a grandfather to Imani's four children, Caden, Carter, Royal, and her newborn Lennox. Her babies now wondering what's happened to mom.
Right, and they're asking.
Acklin believes the answer was captured on Imani's neighbor's Ring doorbell.
That's the fire, listen.
I heard the pow there.
The video is grainy, but listen.
That was a gunshot from a distance.
Listen again. 11 Alive can't confirm this was a gunshot. Following the loud noise, Acklin says Imani's SUV is seen in the grainy video backing out of the garage and speeds off. The last time it's seen until the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office says it showed up 30 miles away here off Metropolitan Parkway at City Central Apartments. But Acklin doesn't believe she was in it.
Her car was there. Now, who's saying that?
Now, Acklin says the father of Imani's newborn lives at those apartments. As of right now, this remains a missing persons case. Anyone with information is being asked to call the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office.
All right, Cody.
So yeah, as they said, they are still treating it as a missing persons case. And there's no no further information besides, you know, what's out there right now. The Rockdale County Sheriff's Office is treating the case as a missing person. As I said, they're requesting for community assistance in providing information related to her disappearance. And you can contact investigators for details. Do not contact IAmVellB or IAmVellB for details. Let me put this in the chat. Put this in the chat. So that's the information. If you have any information on that, only call Vel after. If you have like, oh, this is what happened. But to help her, please do not call Vel. Also, the family, there was a tweet. I'm trying to, let me see. I'm going to read it. There was a tweet, because I saw this on Twitter originally and then went to Google to find out the rest, because I had time to do that and I could see there was more to it. Oh, and they had just this. That's what it was. They only had this posted, or this, remember what a point, this posted with no contact information. I was like, okay, I got to have contact information. So then I looked up the hashtag and then ran into that it was a larger story. So went to Google and got more information. But as much as I can, I'm going to do that with every story because the next one is one that we covered before. And come to find out it was a bigger story than I knew based on a post I found it on. But anyway, one of her relatives said, at this point, we're assuming the worst, and more than anything, I want to be able to give our family some peace and closure, and I need your help. If you are a member of the media and would like to attend a press conference this week, please reach out to the reach out at Bring Imani Home at gmail.com. So if any of you are part of the media and are in that area in Georgia, can attend the press conference if you can. And then they went on to give statistics and said that Black women in the U.S. account for 13% of the female population, but they typically make up 35% of the country's missing women. I know this, and I'm still navigating a tidal wave of shock and disbelief. Our family is simply surrounded by grief, and we really appreciate your help and support. So I thought it was interesting that she had that highlight of the statistics as well, because, you know, because of Carlee, Russell, all of that, it kind of awakened in me that, hey, we got a platform. We should be doing this to highlight these stories and anyone else who is missing that we, you know, as many as we can. We can't do everyone, but if we all pitch in, we can cover everybody. But okay, so that's all we have for that with that story for now. We will continue to follow it. If you have any information or hear anything on it, feel free to, I shouldn't say have any information. If you have any information, call the number on the screen, 911 Crime Stoppers, just not Bill. Yeah, after you do that, then you can let me know what happened. But anyway, poll was, have you heard the missing person story of Imani Robertson? 13% of you had said yes. 87% of you said no. So it's a good thing that we have brought that to your attention. So now you're aware, and hopefully out of those of you who are aware, someone knows something that can help. Then we go on to our next story, which is one that I covered last week. I want to say around the end of last week. And what I did not know at the time was that this was a huge story. And that is the story of Alicia Watts. And this was all I had was the poster. And then I had some contact information, and I gave y'all all of that as much as I had at the time. And then one of our people, again, I get so many messages and then forget to write down who sent what so that I can say it when I do the story. I'm gonna try to get better with that, y'all. Charges to my head, not my heart. But thank you to the person that I can't even remember where. I don't know if I feel like it might have been Instagram. They DM'd me. But anyway, they DM'd me information on this story, and that it's been covered by YouTubers and everything. So Alicia is a 31-year-old woman from North Carolina. She was last seen on July 16th with her boyfriend. And she went missing supposedly on her way to see the boyfriend. She's an entrepreneur. She owns an organization that helps. I should have wrote it down. I was rushing and just realized I didn't complete it, but it was something to do with assisting people with special needs, like a nonprofit kind of service. And she's also extremely active in her community as well. Her phone was last pinged at her boyfriend's address, and she was supposedly on her supposed to also be going to a comedy show. And when she did not show up at that comedy show, that's when her family reported her missing. So I'm assuming, and this was just the way it was reported, but I'm assuming what that means is she was supposed to be hanging out with her boyfriend. That was supposed to happen, but whatever, a couple days later, she had plans to hang out with friends or family at a concert. Like she had tickets for a comedy show. She had tickets for that. She never showed up. She's not answering her phone, no text messages, etc. And then they reported her missing because they're like, hey, we haven't seen her in a couple days, on top of the fact that she's not showing up. She's not answering us the day of this event, and she's not showing up. So on July 18th, her vehicle was found with her boyfriend in it, in the car, unresponsive. He was parked in the parking lot of Department of Motor Vehicles facility. And from what is being said, he was taken to the hospital and is still in custody, from what's being said. But the other piece of this story and the other issue with it is that the family, who were a little quiet about the story at first because they were allowing law enforcement to do their work, so to speak, they've now started to speak up because they're saying we're not getting word on what's happening with this case, and they're concerned. And so they've taken to the media to try to get some answers from law enforcement who's just not communicating with them. So, but supposedly the boyfriend is in custody, and I'm going to play a little news clip for this as well to give a little bit more detail.
The disappearance of this woman is growing even more puzzling as detectives release more details in the case of Alicia Watts.
We first reported last night. Her family says the 39-year-old was last seen on July 16th at her boyfriend's home in University City. Today, detectives in Anson County said that 2 days later, they found Watts' boyfriend passed out in her car at the DMV in Polkton.
This morning, we learned some big news from Anson County detectives. They say it was 1 week ago from today. Here at the DMV in Anson County, they say they found Alicia Watts' boyfriend passed out in her Mercedes. Her loved ones were here today searching for answers. Family and loved ones of Alicia Watts were searching along this rural road near Wadesboro today. Her friend, Stephanie Johnson, wouldn't say what led them here, but they are looking for any sign of her.
The family misses her. Her father and her mother are looking for her desperately. Her sisters, her friends. We just want Alicia home.
Alicia, who is from Moore County, was last seen in Charlotte on July 16th, leaving a home on Pamela Lorraine Drive, University City. Her family says that's where her boyfriend lives. CMPD says he's not considered a suspect or a person of interest, so we are not going to say his name. Today, I learned from Anson County deputies that last Tuesday, July 18th, investigator found her boyfriend unresponsive in Alicia's Mercedes SUV in the parking lot at this DMV along Route 74. It was the next day that Alicia's family reported her missing. Then on July 20th, the Anson County Sheriff's Office learned about Watts' missing person report. Her friends say they just learned these details today through our reporting.
I was amazed because the police was not bringing the family up to speed as to what really is going on or where they were at in the investigation.
CMPD, they are leading this investigation. I asked, and they say as of now, the boyfriend is not being called a person of interest or a suspect in this case. I did ask CMPD if they questioned him. They said that is something that they are not confirming as of today. In Anson County, Dan Maddox, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
Here's another look at Watts. Call police if you know anything about her disappearance. We've also posted her picture on our WSOC app. There we'll post any new details that we learn.
So now they are saying that there is some recorded footage of the police actually doing, I'm going to mute that because it's, oh, wrong one. The police actually doing an investigation / search of the boyfriend's home. So what you see there in the video is the boyfriend's home, and you can clearly see the police is there, the detectives, and they are investigating. So it is very clear that they are looking in that direction. However, they are still, as of now, I can't remember when I pulled that clip, but I would just say as of yesterday, they still had not stated that the boyfriend was a person of interest or a suspect in this, but obviously through what we're watching, that he's at least a person of interest at the very least. So if you have any information, I'm going to put this in the chat. If you have any information on Alicia Watts or this suspicious man, definitely contact the proper people. And this was, oh yeah, that was the thing about this story as well. When we went over it, whatever day that was, if y'all remember, just put it in the chat because I don't know. It's all a blur to me. It's all a blur. When we originally went over this story the other day, I was saying it was odd to me that the family put their number versus saying, you know, Crime Stoppers, 911, call the, you know, police, non-emergency, whatever. They call the family at this number. So now it makes more sense why they would have done that, because they're not really getting any information or you know, they're not getting information from the police. And so they're kind of like, well, we want to take the information in our own hands, I guess. We'll disseminate it to you. At least we'll then know what's happening in this case. So with both of these young women, the prayer is that we can get them found, hopefully safe and sound. And I find it interesting that in both of these situations, it seems to be related. Their disappearance, at least on the surface, seems to be related to a man that was in their life. I'm going to do your comments, and then we'll close out the poll, and then we will move on to the next story. Oh, let me get to the comments. Precise is saying one of the baby daddies did it if I was a betting man. Yeah, I mean, yeah. We're talking, and he's talking about the first story with Imani. So yeah, I would agree. And I saw someone else say that it might have, like, they need to look into the youngest baby's father. Seems like he would be. I mean, the baby's only 6 weeks old. Looks like he might be the one that might be close to the situation. It's very, very crazy though. And then to hear that it was clearly either sounded like a gunshot, but it could have possibly been an M80 firework, but sounded like a gunshot. But to hear that, and then to see her car pulling out from the distance, but pulling out of the driveway, you know, within moments after that, it's very suspicious. And I wonder, so the neighbor had the Ring doorbell, and that's the one they shared. But it also makes me wonder if other neighbors or even Imani's home that she was leaving from had a Ring camera as well. So hopefully there is better footage out there. So we'll see. Michelle Duncan says, this is so sad. The world was focused on Carlee and we needed to be focused on this. Shaking my head. Yeah, but we're doing it now for sure. And I honestly, again, like I said before on this subject, that topic, I'm one that looks at the glass as half full. I feel like what the devil meant for evil, God used for good, because the truth is, without a Carlee story that did get national attention and did, get everyone in the uproar just to find out that it was, a hoax. The truth is, it's now bringing more awareness to the real stories. I'm seeing way more people talking about missing people of color, especially Black women, than I've ever seen. So I'm looking at it, and I know for a fact it is in part a great part of why I'm doing it. Now, I was planning on doing some of this on the Reality Chronicles channel, but the fact that I'm highlighting it at the beginning of a live stream that has nothing to do with that, like these are just trending topics and stuff, that's because of the Carlee thing. Like, so to me, it's I want to look at the glasses half full. Thank you, Carlee, is how I look at it, honestly. She gonna pay for what she did, but thank you. So then we have Kim Fashionably. I saw Imani's story on Twitter about 15 minutes ago. Yeah, and that's another reason I highlighted Kim's comment as well, is because the same happened with me. So I'm thinking, well, meaning I saw it this morning, a little, it's been some hours now, but I think it's picking up traction is why I highlighted that. So that's the other side of this. Again, let's not look at the negative of this. Let's start looking at the positive. Like, wow, we're starting to get traction on not one story that just happens to be, some girl playing tricks and stunts over some boy or whatever she got going on. But we're now getting traction with all these other stories as well. So, okay, I'm gonna come back to that one because we're not on that yet, but I highlighted it. Alice is saying, I'm pretty sure the authorities have an eye on the baby's father. Yeah, I think we're paradox true. Vel, the Popo have been doing better and stepping up for the family. Okay, so you're saying specifically, I'm assuming paradox in this Alicia Watts story, because that's one of the reasons they kind of, something I was reading or whatever, was alluding to part of them going public was so that the public could put the pressure on the police, like the public put pressure on the police when it came to Carlee, in the sense of tell us what's happening, give the family information, that kind of thing. And it worked. I think we need to look at that Carlee situation as how much we learned about how much power we have, how much reach we have, and how we can force the hand of law enforcement to do what we want them to do. They work for us. And we proved that. They gave press conferences when they really didn't want to. They gave as much information as they could possibly give because we forced them. I mean, multiple press conferences in a week for one lonely little girl on the highway. That's good. We did the damn thing. Pat ourselves on the back. And we're just going to keep doing it. Okay, I'm going to close out this poll. Do you remember me covering the Alicia Watts story? And 43% of you said yes. 57% said no. You might have missed it, I'm assuming. Or you're like me and your memory ain't that good. No, my memory ain't that bad. My short-term memory is a little, like, I can't remember phone numbers and stuff like that. You can't just tell me something once or your name or something. It's probably going in one ear and out the other. But my memory ain't like bad. It's not. Okay, so we're moving on to our next story, which is, for some of us, nostalgic. And that is Pee Wee Herman. And I'm wondering, this is really going to judge the demographic or the age range of those of you here. Are you from my generation? Are you an older generation? Are you from, I already know that, I know the analytics. Y'all know I know. Y'all know I'm very analytical. So I can tell y'all how many of y'all are what age at this point. YouTube is that sophisticated. But how many of you know who Pee Wee Herman is? I started to say Paul Reubens to try to throw y'all off and see who knew the real actor. But Paul Reubens, who came to fame in the 1980s as a children's TV star, Pee Wee Herman, has unfortunately passed away after years of a cancer diagnosis, his team said on Monday. He was 70 years old. 70 years old. My God, it's making me feel old. Pee Wee Herman was 70. Jesus. They say last night we said farewell to Paul Reubens, an iconic actor, comedian, writer, producer whose beloved character Pee Wee Herman delighted generations of children and adults with his positivity, whimsy, and belief in the importance of kindness, according to a statement that they put on his Facebook. They were also quoted as saying, Paul bravely and privately fought cancer for years with his trademark tenacity and wit, a gifted and prolific talent. He will forever live in the comedy plethora and in our hearts as a treasured friend and man of remarkable character and generosity of spirit. And that's him. I don't know how old this picture is, but it would be a little bit more recent. I was like, he was aging pretty well, actually. It's saying that it had not been previously disclosed that Reubens was diagnosed with cancer. The announcement of his death included a personal statement from the actor explaining why he kept his medical condition under wraps. So he's quoted as saying, "Please accept my apologies for not going public with what I've been facing the last 6 years," he wrote. "I've always felt a huge amount of love and respect from my friends, fans, and supporters. I have loved you all so much and enjoyed making art for you." That brings a question. Wow, 100% of y'all know. I expected maybe to be, I didn't expect 100%, but that's great. Do you feel a person is obligated to disclose? I'm gonna just say disclose. Y'all know what I'm saying. Oh, not disclosed, but disclose. Do you feel, so he's apologizing in his letter that he wrote prior to his passing to us, the public, his fans and supporters, apologizing for not disclosing prior to us finding out that he's gone. Do you feel like he was required? Well, I'll wait until y'all answer, but do you feel like he was required to disclose that he had been battling cancer during his fight? By the way, F cancer. Just side note. But anyway, Reubens rocketed to fame for creating the sarcastic but good-natured man-child Pee Wee Herman, a character whose red bow tie and sneering, catchy phrases. I know. Oh, what was it? I know who you are. No, I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? And Pee Wee was the star of a Los Angeles stage play produced by Reubens that gained enough of a following that HBO recorded and broadcast a performance in 1981. Did I ever see that? Because I was a huge Pee Wee Herman fan. I watched that movie so many times I can't even count. I love the opening scene, him getting out of bed and all this mechanical stuff happening and pouring his cereal out. I don't know why I was fascinated by that as a kid. They said eventually it led to Reubens' big break in the 1985 movie, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Probably still one of my top 10, like as far as childhood for sure. Might be even top 5 from childhood. By the Back to the Future's in there too. Color Purple's actually in there too. Very odd for a child, but it's in there. They said the first time, helmed by the first time featured director Tim Burton. The movie followed Pee Wee's surreal and slapstick journey to find his missing bicycle. I remember the bike. And while a modest box office hit, became a cult favorite. Absolutely. So yeah, I ain't gonna read his whole bio. But yeah, that's we lost another one. Now we do know that there was some controversy. I don't know if that's in here at all. Let me see. Oh, here we go. It's in here. Of course they're gonna put that in here. Yeah, it says here, but his rise to fame was halted. Y'all know I like to show all sides of everything. It says, but Reubens' rise to fame was halted in 1991 after he pled no contest to indecent exposure at an adult movie theater in Sarasota, Florida. Then in 2004, Reubens was sentenced to 3 years probation after pleading guilty to misdemeanor obscenity charge involving, oh, geez, I know this part, photographs of minors engaged in sexual conduct that were seized from him. What? Those brushes with law dented but didn't derail Reubens' career. And then he won critically acclaimed for playing a drug dealing hairdresser in the 2001 movie Blow. I think I vaguely remember that. Along Penelope Cruz and Johnny Depp. I think I remember that, and I think he did very well. So somebody was quoted as saying that Paul Reubens was like no other, a brilliant and original comedian who made kids and their, we don't need to be mentioning the kids after what I just read, and their parents laugh at the same time. Late night comedy, Jimmy Kimmel said in a statement, and went on to say he never forgot a birthday and shared his genuine delight for silliness with everyone he met. My family and I will miss him. Everybody got these dark sides, I tell you. Jesus. All right, I'm gonna move on. I ain't gonna dig. I ain't finna get on the whole soapbox with that one. All right. Yeah, I didn't know that. Do you feel the poll question I'm closing out? Do you feel a person is obligated to disclose basically their health status, cancer, whatever they're dealing with? 9% of y'all are nosy AF. Nosy AF. How does that affect your life? How does that affect this stranger or your next door neighbor or even your auntie or even your, well, okay, I ain't gonna go as close to the immediate family. But how does that affect your life? Why you gotta know that?
Y'all are so weird.
I hate
what does that mean?
I hate them.
They're so weird.
I hate them, bro. I swear to God, bro. I hate them, bro. Them is weird.
Majestic got a good question. At what point do they disclose? The truth is they never got to disclose. In my opinion, where you comment at, Majestic? It's just hard for me to find in the live chat when here we go. Okay. Yeah, at what point do they disclose? And I don't know if you're asking like the people who feel like they should have disclosed, or if you're just asking a general, at what point should a person disclose? I feel like at what point they want to, if they ever want to, is how I feel. I do know of people I've had, like when I was younger, especially like older relatives, etc., who have passed away or who passed away, who the people is like, I don't know, I think that happened. They never told. Without giving too much information, I was going to say too much on a public platform, but I have close relatives who didn't even tell their children, adult children, that they had cancer until they were on hospice, and they had been dealing with it for years. My father didn't disclose for years that he was battling until the last year. So yeah, I don't know. I do feel like waiting until your hospice is pushing it for sure, with your immediate family. But as far as the public, I'm just gonna let y'all know, I love y'all. I love y'all to pieces. Y'all are creating my dream, and I love you for that. And I will always eternally never forget you for that. But one thing you need to know is my business ain't got to be your business. I ain't got to disclose ish to y'all as far as health and all of that. I might not. It depends on if I want to. Because the other piece of it too is when you disclose those things and you're battling, and that's already an emotional toll. I don't know how many of you of this 9%, now it went up to 10, Jesus, more y'all. But I don't know how many of this 10% of y'all have been close to these sort of things to see what people go through during that. The person experiencing whatever health crises, but then also those immediately associated with them. That's a lot. And then the more people you add to it, the more you got people's opinions. You got people just overdoing it. They doing too much. They being too much. The person needs to rest, but everybody trying to visit or just calling with their own home remedies. My father went through that. Like, he's like, this is why I didn't want to tell nobody. Like when he got to the point that he disclosed, he's like, this is why I didn't want to tell nobody. And it's like, I get it. He's bothered now. Y'all bothering him. Stop bothering him. I'm watching my father fade away and the phone is ringing incessantly. And it's like, no, this ain't helping. So that is why people don't disclose to y'all 10%. I love y'all, but Jesus, our family is just made of everybody, ain't it? I love y'all, though. I tell you, I do. Where would I be without you? All right, let's move on. What do we got next? Y'all threw me off. Got my brain all frazzled. So we're moving on to somebody else who frazzles my brain. We have Carlee Russell. Nothing big. We pretty much have talked about what been going on with her. However, the internet ain't done with her. And so I saw some things over the weekend. I'm like, let me share with the people, because I know all y'all don't be on social media like I be on social media. Some of y'all just YouTube watchers, or you might have your one other platform. Maybe you only do Instagram or only do Facebook too, but y'all ain't surfing the web all day like me, pretty much. So anyway, there was there's a video out of Carlee when she was leaving. They're saying she was leaving her attorney's office, at least when I saw the caption, but I'm not 100% if this was after her being bailed out or whatever, getting fingerprinted, booked and all of that, or what. But anyway, here's a video of her leaving somewhere. Give it time to buffer. Nothing spectacular. And that's her attorney getting in the Mercedes Benz, and then that was her father who opened up the back door of the pickup truck. What I found odd is that someone blurred out, the news station blurred out the father's plate to his truck, although everyone knows where they live now, but not the attorney or anybody else's. Like everybody really knows where they live. For real, for real. And then there's another. So what I'm not clear about with this, 62% of you said you did not see this video. Hold on, what did I just take down? Oh, this is what I meant to do. Well, it's gone up. So actually, the majority of you had not seen that. I found out about it after we got off of our live with the press conference. What's the press conference? Whatever we did. When we were going over the fact that she had been booked and all of that. Oh, I played it for you guys, even though it wasn't in real time, the press conference. But anyway, I found out about this afterwards. So this was done that same day earlier. So like I said, social media was also, so I'm going to end this and I'm going to, 71% of you. I'm glad I played it. I almost didn't play it. This is just teaching me, because it's like the stuff that I be debating about not playing for y'all. Then I found out like most of y'all ain't seen it. I should have cut and pasted it from there. Let me see. Maybe I can do it from here. Hold on. That might save me some time. There we go. So I'm going to ask you the same question about this next video. So this next video is social media basically trolling her because they're going to watch her every move. And someone got a hold to her TikTok, and y'all voting, and I ain't even put the video up yet. I feel like I'm a school teacher, like, not yet. Don't raise your hand yet. I ain't asked the question yet. Put your hand down. But in this next video, this is actually a TikTok of Carlee. What I'm not sure of is the timestamp on it. I don't know. Some people were speculating this was her in the hotel room for the 49 hours. This is clearly not a hotel room. I think this is her at home. But what I'm not sure of if this was prior to all of this or after. But anyway, here's Carlee. I'm gonna have to mute it because there is music, but I'm gonna let it play for a second. Oh boy. So other league, and we gonna rock. Does she know her little TikTok thingy thing? Rock, and from what I can tell, from what people are telling me, she is just kind of living her life like, all right, that's over. Let's keep it moving. Or I'm going to get it in while I can before, I get this sentence. But yeah, nothing major, but these are things that have come out over the weekend as it pertains to Carlee Russell. Let me see, make sure I ain't missing that. Yeah, that was it. That was all I had. Yeah, and that video, I did have a caption. So that video that we played of her leaving, It says that Carlee was leaving her attorney's office in Birmingham, Alabama, Friday before the police announced that she would be charged with making the false reports. So that was that. I'm sure we're not done hearing about it, though. But again, thank you, Carlee, because now it's bringing attention to women who are really missing and in need of our banding together to get them found. And in the cases, unfortunately, where we might not be able to save them, we can bring their predators to justice. All right. So next story is a story that I debate back and forth whether or not I was going to even tackle this, because I don't like vitriol in discussions. And this is a topic that I feel like there is no real winning when it comes to it. I feel like views are right in some way on all angles, but I do feel like a lot of it is just pure misunderstanding. And a part of me feels like part of it is, and this is the conversation, because I'm going deep without saying what it is. The conversation about kind of T.S. Madison has kind of floated to the top as the face of it, so to speak, but it didn't start with her, but somehow she's become like the face of this conversation. But the conversation about trans women versus cis Black women, naturally born Black women, for those of you who prefer that, and how it all went down, etc. So I'm just do a rundown of it for the most part. I just want to say I would like us to have a healthy conversation without insulting or causing harm to any individual, group, or community. That would be greatly appreciated. And so I'm going to start with a little clip that kind of gives a bit of a little back.
Much of the internet is engaging in conversation about womanhood after comedian Jess Hilarious released a series of thoughts that got backlash for her comments, specifically around the defense of cis womanhood. Her comments came in response to a TikTok video, which was posted on Instagram from a trans woman saying cis women don't own, quote, womanhood or periods.
Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like, hello?
That TikTok clip got more than 17,000 comments and more than 18,000 shares on Instagram, including from comedian Jess Hilarious, who called this idea of gatekeeping womanhood delusional.
What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that bleed, huh?
So that was in part. I'm going to play more of Jess's comment as well as so it started with that trans woman saying whatever she said, because a lot of people aren't agreeing with that. A lot of trans people aren't agreeing with it. And it's kind of like, well, it's one random person saying whatever they're saying, and all of us aren't in agreement with that. But then it just blew into, see, this is the problem with y'all. Y'all trying to take us and erase us, blah, blah, blah. And it just kind of led into that. So T.S. Madison confirmed her tweet about the real women being mistaken for trans was the response to Jess Hilarious saying trans women are delusional and will never be real women. And so, let me play this part.
Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that.
Like, hello?
And then T.S. Madison, I thought I pulled it in, but I didn't. Nope, I didn't. I'm going to read it from over here. So T.S. Madison had put a post to kind of give clarity on her position. And she said, let me move this over, it's too small. She said, let me make one thing clear. Put that up. So that's T.S. Madison. Let me make one thing clear. I have stood up and fought tooth and nail for Black women. I have put a lot of Black women on, used my platform to uplift Black women, as well as let it be known that I am not a female, but I am a trans woman, trans Black woman. So I'm addressing this as such. Let me put an @ on it. So she then replied directly to Just Hilarious and says, I have never disrespected you, nor came at you publicly when you said sideways-ish I didn't like. I inboxed you. Your mouth don't put no fear in my heart, because you're not the only B that can put a read on the floor. So but as a grown individual, I don't want to go that route, because that's not going to solve none. But we can, and I'm all with it all day. Now I posted what I said because of what came out of your own experiences. Every time trans women and real women unite on some good-ish, you nor the blogs ever post or talk about it. The moment one individual offends you, y'all automatically group us all in the mix. So she's saying what I was saying. Like, pretty much majority of the population is not agreeing with that original person who posted, but everyone seems to be lumping all trans women into that category of feeling the way that that other woman feels. I clearly know that only females have periods and uteruses and have never stood on the side of the majority. But what you not gonna do is make it seem like you gonna press down on me and call me phony. Okay, there was a lot of back and forth. I was gonna do a deep dive with this story, but I had already put it in a thumbnail. I was like, let me just get this story over with. That's the truth. I was like, let me just get this over with. So I didn't have the timeline, because it's been so many people interjecting themselves into it. Flame and Roe and people who are not public figures and all of that. But one of the things that was stated for why Just Hilarious may have had some the level of passion that she had in her statement, and seems to be so offended by the existence of trans people and thinking that, you know, they're mentally ill. The only difference is they're not in a straitjacket, is because of her own experiences of being mistaken for a transgender woman and being called a transgender, basically, on multiple occasions. And she speaks about it during an interview. I want to know if y'all, I'm gonna put up a poll to see if y'all actually seen this interview. So this was interesting. The only thing is I'm probably gonna have to cut this out of the live, because I've got a feeling that this video alone is going to demonetize this live stream, all this hard work, because there's so much cursing, but I didn't have time to edit it out. And it's a pretty big piece of this story that I didn't want to leave out. So here you go.
We here called the dark side of the DM.
Okay.
I told you a little bit about it earlier.
Yes.
Is there a DM that you would like to share with these motherfucking people?
Yes. Okay, so it's a cliffhanger. So this guy's a celebrity.
Blue check in the DM.
Yup, this nigga DM'd me and wanted to fly me out so I could fuck him.
In the ass?
Yes, but not with a dildo. This nigga thought I was a man. He really did think I was he thought I was a transgender. He thought I was
trans. Competition, didn't she?
He was very
drunk. What he was? What the fuck is
very
wrong
direct
with him?
it. I was
This
like,
is
wow.
crazy.
Yes.
I would like to know this nigga's name later.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! let me ask you this. If he made the deal seem pretty juicy, you know, let's say you single and, you know, you maybe offered you $100,000. Would you have put a strap on and fucked him in the ass?
Absolutely. What do you mean?
Oh, wow.
Girl, yeah.
Such an
I was
Aquarius.
trying to go find a dick.
Right.
It was money involved. I
Have
just
you ever
couldn't
used a
find
strap
one.
on somebody?
No, I was trying to practice all this. But I think I was more insulted because he thought I was a man.
So some people are saying that some of her vitriol is based on being mistaken as being transgender. I don't know. I'm just putting out, again, I'm giving y'all a quick overview of the timeline, even though it's so much more, so many twists and turns to this thing. All in since whatever day last week that it came out. So poll is, have you seen this video of Jess saying that she was making a mistaken as trans? 65% of you said no. 37% of you have seen this. I'm going to close that one out. And have you seen this viral debate between cis women and trans women? 58% of you said yes. 41% of you said no. So yeah, it's been really trending. Now, there's, again, I talked about there's many people who have been chiming in, and I'm not going to play all of them. I decided I got a few actually, but oh, hold on. Where's my stuff? Quit playing with me, computer. I had hit my limit of videos that I could pull in the stream ahead of time. So I'm going to the crates of the computer. So one of the clout chasers who decided to ride this wave, because they'll ride any wave that includes possible clicks and views and engagement, someone that we talk about quite a bit over here, Darius Crooks inserted himself into the conversation. And I'm going to play a little clip of what he said. And maybe tonight, I think tonight I might be able to, maybe Foolishness Friday. We'll figure it out. But actually, I might see if I can do a poll for it. But he got drugged by T.S. Madison's followers. Well, in general, people in general on Twitter for filth. And it was hilarious.
That T.S. addressing Jess was unnecessary because Jess was responding to the period comment by a transgender who can not identify as a female but as a woman. Honey, I don't know who said what. But what I do know is T.S. Madison do not have no right to talk about nothing regarding Jess's body. Full stop, point blank, period. That's it. I do not think that T.S. Madison has license, permission, ability, can't believe she got the confidence to say anything about Jess Hilarious's body. You ain't got to like Jess. A lot of us don't like Jess. Truth is the truth. Truth is the truth. You shouldn't be talking about her body. That's it. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Okay.
I just realized that was another thing. So the someone posted that T.S. Madison saw it on Twitter and she replied, "Who is this person who is loud and wrong?" Like, who the hell are they? And then people just went into dragging, like, oh, he's a scammer that should be more concerned with his lawsuits. And it just went on and on and on and on and on. So another thing was showing that T.S. Madison don't even know who you are, and you've been in Atlanta for almost a decade, and she's also in Atlanta. She don't even know you exist. But anyway, yeah, that we can go through. We can look at that Dragon Read session, but not tonight. I got too much for y'all already for tonight for Crooks. So maybe for Foolishness Friday. It seemed like it was something else. Yeah, I'm gonna skip Oh, this was the other piece I definitely wanted to cover. Oh, I hope I got it in here. I ain't got nothing. Where did I pull anything in here? Hold on. I think it's, let me see. Not that. Talk amongst yourselves. I swear I made an overlay for it. Let me make sure. Russian, that's why. There we go. So anyway, I saw some comments about the whole cis gender situation. I saw a couple of people saying they don't like it and all of that. And I get it. And you have a preference on what you like. But I did want to make it clear, and this is something I recently learned, that is not just like some slang term or something that was made up. It's actually a medical term. And so what does cis mean, or the cisgender definition? It is short for cisgender, rather, which is a term used to describe a person whose gender identity is the same as the gender assigned to them at birth. For example, if a person is assigned male at birth and identifies as a boy or man, that person would be considered cis or cisgender. So that's where it comes from. It's not like some gay slang that's been made up. And it's a more technical, medical definition too. I didn't want to bore y'all with all that. Oh, and this was a clip that I ran into that I felt pretty much summed up the way I feel about it totally, honestly. Oh, let me say this part first, because then I want to end it on a positive note. And so the other piece that was going on with this is that T.S. Madison was friends with or associates with Tasha K. Many of you know who Tasha K is. And Tasha K inserted herself in this as well, because just like Crooks, she's another person who will jump on a trend for clicks and views. She's just trying to grow and pay that $4 million back. I get it. So she inserted herself into this conversation as well, started dragging T.S. Madison, who she was at least associates with. They actually like did an interview last year and all this other stuff. They're supposed to be cool. She's been to T.S. Madison's home and all this other stuff. So T.S. Madison took to dragging her. I got that as well. I got to edit that. She did so much cursing. I was like, I just don't have time to edit. That's why this story got cut down. It was like 7 minutes of, MF and, DICK and all of that. It was a lot of it. F this. It was a good read though. It was a good read, but if y'all want to hear the read, let me, I can edit it. Hold on. Let me, I got to take this out because I was about to ask y'all something else. Should I ask first? Have you heard or seen? Have you seen Madison read Tasha K? Yeah, so she read her for like 7 minutes straight. And again, I do have it, but as I listened to it, I was like, there's no way I can just play this. I will have to edit this. It's fine on social media, but okay. So what happened was Tasha K, being Tasha K, somehow she got a hold of T.S. Madison's passport, because her goal was to prove that, yeah, you trying to act like you trans, you're a female or whatever, but your identification still says you are a male. And so she got her hands on T.S. Madison's passport, the expired passport, and posted it. She did not. I have redacted and blacked out T.S. Madison's personal information on her passport. I also have it really small on purpose, so it's blurry to y'all. But Tasha posted this, and yeah, it's online. It's floating around. Now, it's also illegal. And then there's speculation on where it came from. So T.S. Madison took to Twitter, I think it was all her social media, and said, I know exactly who gave that person my old passport. Now, when I activate on them too legally, don't forget, I know who shared my information with, and that passport expired in 2019, just like business relationships did. And everyone don't have access to my personal stuff. So it's clear who did it. But don't you worry, it's illegal to do that, sir. So T.S. Madison is speculating that it is her ex-manager. Why am I forgetting his name? Gio, who she had a big falling out with. Was that 2020, y'all? Or was that 2021? Big falling out in social media land. If you paid attention to her, it was just all over the place. And he was disclosing personal things about her and giving a rundown of all her business and all that stuff and how she got a house and who did this and she's a scammer and you know, all of these. And yeah, it was a lot of back and forth. And then eventually it died down. Well, from what I hear, he's always kind of in the background, something's happening or he's saying something or doing something. 2019, Amanda, NBS. Was it that long? You sure it's not 2020? I feel like I wasn't following or paying attention to Madison in 2019, but I could be wrong. I feel like she didn't come on my radar really until 2020 during the pandemic where we all was bored. So a lot of stuff that I didn't even know existed was coming on my radar. But anyway, so that's the speculation. That, again, this is like deep dive stuff that I could get into if y'all want me to. Let me see. Have you seen Madison Reed, Tasha K? 32. Most of you have not. 68% of you have not seen it. It is. If you like a good read session, it's good. I do. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm sorry, y'all. I do. I know I try to be, I'm all purpose driven over here and stuff, but I do love a good read session. Tickles me sometimes. As long as it's not like, well, and it was, yeah, it depends. I do have a limit to it, but it's, yeah, I like it. Should I do a deep dive video, or we'll do a live stream, I'm saying video, on this topic? So basically covering it from A to Z, even the stuff that was happening, even the stuff that was happening that I just alluded to, basically almost doing a little timeline of Madison and leading up into this situation here, because it's interesting for sure. And honestly, I have some stuff already, because sometimes when those things are happening, I start archiving stuff because you never know when you're gonna need it. And things like this happen, you're like, oh, I'm glad I got that from 2 years ago that tells me this or that. Okay, so this was how I wanted to end this. And then once we watch this, then we will move to our next topic. We are making good time. Ooh, look at God, won't he do it? Because I got to come back. And I still got stuff to do for our live this evening. Those who are in Patreon, a part of getting the behind the scenes, know that I put out a behind the scenes this morning, giving them like insights and showing them what I was doing today. And they know that I was feeling the pressure. And so they know how relieved I am in this moment to see we're almost done with it.
Stands up for us and us.
So this is, I just got too much on the screen. This is a person's, Imani Vanzant, her response to what's happening out with this whole situation. I just love the way that she summed it up, and it honestly, again, summarizes my perspective on this situation. I think it was worded really nicely.
I mean women, real women, biological women.
Okay, so I've been asked about this a lot, and I try to stay away from certain topics that I believe you can't win in, no matter what you believe or who you're trying to stand up for. So all I'm gonna say is this: I've heard everything. I've heard from Jess, I've heard from T.S. Madison, who I love, I've heard from Tasha K, and I think Flame Monroe got into it. Everybody has been involved in this quarrel. Everyone within arm's length has weighed in on this thing. And what I'm gonna say to all of it is this, very simply. while everyone is trying to have the gotcha post, the gotcha response to shut the other side down and we need to drag this one, cancel this one, all of that, they're coming for everybody. While everyone is getting lost in the fight, we're not thinking about the war. The war being, there's a fight on all women and all people who are on any part of the spectrum of the experience of womanhood. They're coming for everybody. They're coming for the LGBT community. They're coming for abortion. They're coming for, now affirmative action is gone. That while everyone is arguing, they just keep making laws. They keep making laws. And now things are so tough now, it's not even about just women anymore. Now that AI is on the rise, they're coming for human beings. What I hope in this, I understand everyone's stance, and everyone has a point. Everybody's got a point. But the biggest point is love. Until we get to the point to where we all come together and understand that it's going to take all of us to overthrow a system that is trying to kill all of us, we're never going to get anywhere. It's always going to be one group against another and division everywhere. I know people feel the way that they feel. Everybody is right to have the convictions that you do and to share them, and that they do matter in the greater discussion. But the ultimate thing that we need to go after is the very fact that they're trying to take out everyone. They don't care about your little fight. They don't care nothing about that. The only people that care about that are the people that are fighting within that little cage. Break out of the cage and let's save the world. That's how I feel about it. Become unified. Become loving. Become one. That's the only way we're going to get out of this. I love you.
Break out of the cage. I love that. Because that's how I feel about it. When I even saw it kind of just taking off, I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But everyone's entitled to their opinion and all of that. And I know that people are very passionate about their positions. I have not gathered that people are trying to erase anyone per se. I mean, besides the system, because as she said, there's a war happening. And sometimes people are getting so people are getting so distracted with the nuances of things that they're missing the real war that's happening. I got stories that are lined up in the near future that I'm trying to get deeper into, but women being literally arrested for terminating their pregnancies. One lady traveled out of her state and is being sentenced to prison for terminating a pregnancy. One lady had her child and now is suing, I think, the state for forcing her to have a child that she didn't want to have. Like that's the real war on women, in my opinion. But anyway, terms like pregnant people and chest feeders, I just heard that for the first time. Was that today, I think, or something? Are appearing in government documents. We have fought too long and too hard for equality, opportunity. No one is changing the definition of manhood. Yeah, because thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, because it's the ones in power who are making the decision. I don't even think it's the ones that are arguing at each other. Those are not the ones with the power. It's the ones that no one's paying attention to, who are making it illegal for a woman to choose whether or not she wants to be a mother, and then force you to be a mother. Because I've been on the other side of this in childcare, forcing people to be parents, but then don't want to pay for the support services that they need in order to properly raise their children. I worked in childcare and had people on the childcare assistance program, and they almost eradicated it in Illinois, literally, where it was cheaper or more affordable it made more sense for a mother to stay at home than to get a job, because when she would get a job, she would then not qualify for the programs, or all the money she made had to go to childcare. It was just absolutely crazy. Thank you so much, Pamela, for the super sticker. I really appreciate you. Okay, so I'm gonna do. We only got a couple comments, and then we're gonna move to our last two topics. Look at God gonna get us out of here before 2 hours. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Kim is saying Pee-wee's Playhouse was my show. Used to drive my mom crazy, screaming to the word of the day. Thanks for the laugh, Paul Rubin. Rest in peace. Yes, yes, yes. Topaz Spivvy says, right. How will knowing people's personal business help you? Yes. The disclosure, when we're talking about the disclosure. Yeah, I don't get, I hope the 10% of you actually put your comments in so I can hopefully catch them later and try to understand a different perspective on it. Cause I off the top of my head, I don't know. I don't get it. Andrea Carr says Maddie didn't say anything about Jess's body. Very true. Oh, thank you for saying this, because this was my point after playing Darius Crooks, because he was loud and wrong in the sense of his opinion was based on things that never happened. Maddie never, T.S. Madison never said anything about Jess's body. He versus him saying, oh, y'all, I haven't been following the story, as I've done to y'all many times. I haven't been following. I don't really know. His ego won't allow him to humble himself. So instead, he comments about a situation he knows nothing about, just on a very surface level, or hearing what somebody said, and he then took a whole stance on it and dragging T.S. Madison for something she never said and then insulting her. Craziness. She actually defended Jess against the people, saying she looked like a man and said Jess was beautiful. Thank you for clarifying, because I missed, that was a point I wanted to get to, and my brain went another direction. Ontia. I was almost not going to attempt a name at all, but I was like, let me try. Let me know which version, if probably none of them were correct. From my time, a man that was a woman, no one cared, because that was not things to talk about, because they did not go out saying, look at me, I am a woman. Like Vale said, it's not your business, move on. Yeah, I just feel like let people be. It's just the fact that people are so stressed and pressed about other people's lives. It confounds and baffles me. My mom told me a story, like I didn't even know. My mom was talking about it casually. This was probably last year sometime, that my grandmother actually had a friend who was trans, male to female, and he went through the surgery. I didn't even know they did surgery way back then, but he went through the surgery and my grandmother helped nurse him. And I was like, I never would have thought. And my mom said, like, through this conversation, she was like, yeah, she had a lot of gay friends. Like, I would have never thought, because my grandmother was like, by the time I was born, at least, very church going. Pretty much it was work, church, and fixing up the house. That was her life with my grandfather. But yeah, just to know that, and it was, like you said, just not as big of a deal. I know we had them in my neighborhood. It was one, not had them like they're aliens, but there was two trans people when I was growing up, but I didn't know. I knew people would make fun and stuff, but they were also accepted in a way. It was very odd. Like they would talk with my uncles and them, and they would joke with them and all of that, but they, also whispering behind their backs. But I don't know. It's just it's too much, y'all. It's too much. We got so much more to worry about than this. And they're attacking us and trying to erase us. Literally. Not trying. They are attacking us and they are erasing us. Literally. Sonny Blowdrow is saying it's sad that this is even an argument. Yes. How insecure a person is a person that they need to big up themselves by invalidating someone else's existence. Could not have said it better myself. Okay, so moving on. Let me end this poll. Oh, do you agree with Imani Vanzant's point of view? 70% of you say yes. 30% of you are like, no, hang them all. How dare they exist? They're all crazy. They're all mentally ill and need to be put in straitjackets. Go in, let have is all I got to say for it. In the meantime, just keep talking about these random ass topics and move on with my life. So have you all heard about the Tina Knowles, and again, another thing I didn't pull in. I forgot I didn't have a cover picture for them. I'm gonna go to this. Oh, went too far. Here we go. We do that as a substitute. Tina Knowles and her husband, Richard Lawson. Did you hear about the divorce filings? It's very high. I can tell from the poll already. But for the handful of you, literally probably 2 or 3 people in this live who don't know, Tina Knowles Lawson filed for divorce after 8 years of marriage to Richard Lawson, with court documents obtained by multiple outlets citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. Tina and Richard separated on Tuesday, July the 25th, and they had tied the knot in April of 2015. I remember when they got married because I was actually so happy for her, in the sense of, we know that, you know, Matthew Knowles was a known cheater and baby maker outside of marriage. And so I was just happy. I was like, oh, she found love. And, you know, in her being in her older age, it was just great. And the guy's handsome and, you know, established. Like, we knew he wasn't a scrub. And fast forward 8 years later, and now this. And then the same, well, speculation is the same thing that she kind of went through before. But anyway, Tina previously went by the name of, what is this? Celestine? I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Lawson. And she's also requested for her name to be changed back to Celestine Knowles. So she wants to get rid of his last name, and she's putting that Knowles back on there. Is that saying anything positive about Matthew, or is that because of her children and grandchildren, etc.? Is that because it's the legacy of the family now? I wonder. 94% of you had already heard about this. Yeah. And the other piece of it, well, I'm going to put this in the poll. Did y'all hear, because I was going to do this a couple of weeks ago, that did y'all hear that her home was burglarized? And some people were speculating on social media. I just saw this like yesterday or today, that they were speculating that that he may have had something to do. And I'm like, people just love to just be inserting people into stuff. Like, this man, now y'all can turn him to a burglar or a criminal. But anyway, word on the streets is that Richard may have been for the streets. maybe he is for the streets. And people had been searching his social media and saw that on his social media, they're saying like there's a ton of likes on profiles and pictures of like IG models. And even, I don't know how true this was, but they were saying even on Twitter, the more obscene content that's on Twitter, that he was also cited on that. And one of the posts was, or tweets, was this person saying this was from May, but still, oh my God, he for the streets. And someone had asked him, where is Tina? You never post her anymore. And he responded, she's on tour with Beyonce. So I was like, is there shade in that? Like, she on tour with Beyonce. Like, she just doing her own thing. She chasing up behind her daughter. She living her life. I'm living mine. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But then what I ran into today was also, there's a video of him, I guess, showing that he for the streets. Oh, did I pull it in? Oh, my computer being slow. Give me a second. I should have primed this first. All right, into today. All right. Here we go. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Here we go. Oh, and I'm gonna have to mute this.
State of emergency. What you want me to do? I'm sorry.
So he's actually playing in the background Jay-Z's song, Show Me What You Got. And so people are saying it's really shady because why does he have this reel that's playing his soon-to-be ex-son-in-law's music in the back, and then he has all of these, random video footage and images of himself living the life, fancy-free, single, as if like he's not skipping a beat. So my question to y'all is, do you think that this reel here was some kind of dig at Tina Knowles? And then some people were also doing the comparison that this is basically life imitating art, in the sense of he has a Tyler Perry movie that he just finished as well. Let me see if I got it here. Here it is. Tyler Perry movie that he just finished as well, that is called The Divorce in Black. And he's just he's supposed to be starring in this film, and he's divorced and black. So no. I'm gonna close out these polls. We got, did you know that Tina Knowles' home was burglarized recently? 72% of you did know that. 27% of you didn't. I find it interesting that these celebrities' homes are getting broken into, and they're supposed to have like these most sophisticated alarm systems. I think most times it's probably inside jobs. But the other poll is, do you think this was some kind of dig at Tina Knowles, his ex-wife? 61% of you said yes. 38% of you said no. That's kind of in my brain how I am with it. Like 61% of my brain is like, oh yeah, that was a dig. 38% of my brain is like, but maybe he just was posting that anyway, and he does like his Jay-Z music, and it's no biggie, But I think it was a dig. I think it was a dig. Like, he's like, life goes on. I saw somebody, let me get to the comments, because hopefully it's here, but I saw someone comment something about what he'd been up to with with women. But I got to see if it's there. Hey, Missy Parker, thank you so much for the super chat. And it was alleged that Richard was her sneaky link while married to Matthew. Wow. Okay. I don't believe she's as innocent as she portrays. Oh, okay. I had not heard that. Well, maybe I forgot. But wasn't Matthew wrong first? Maybe from at least what was put out there. Wasn't it put out there first that he was up to no good, like for years, and then the baby came up, like the info that there was a baby. Ain't there more than one baby? But at least the first baby came out, and then it seemed like all of a sudden she was on something too. But I don't know, because I'm all for it. If he dragging y'all through the mud, y'all got free agency. Now, if y'all want to get back together later, that's fine. But give him a little taste of his own medicine. Shanice, Richard is letting us know that he's back outside. Right. Now, I saw a lot of comments like that on social media. Right. He's back outside. Absolutely. KK is saying, I'm glad he's free. Tina talked to him and about him crazily all the time. And he was right besides her when she did it. Oh, no, ma'am. It wasn't cute. It was malicious. Free him. Interesting that you say this, KK, because I actually ran into a video this morning that I couldn't find by the time I got in my office and was ready to pull things in. It was a video clip it was on social media, and someone posted a clip of them at dinner. Tina had put the camera on, and she said that she was trying to get him to help her pronounce or tell her how to pronounce some food item. might have been French food or something. And he was like, yeah, I'm not going to bother telling her again because with her country accent, she going to mess it up anyway and ain't going to remember. So, so someone had posted it saying basically he was acting greasy with her, but now you're letting me know that, because I ain't followed him like that at all. So you're letting me know that there's actually footage as well of her being greasy with him and maybe even more. So interesting. Yeah, because I wasn't aware of that. Alicia Donaldson says, I heard Tina was just about okay. Y'all informing me. I love this. Y'all informing me too. Pink Pearl says Tina seemed kind of rude to him. Interesting. So a lot of y'all have seen that side. Precious G is saying in that video, she was out of pocket in an interview and the way he gave her the side. Okay, so this is no surprise to many of. Let me put this in. So, because this was all I knew is I would see them in photos here or there, and maybe something was going on and they were at some premiere or something. That'll be all I would know. Did you see this divorce coming? Oh, that's not a question mark. Did you see this divorce coming? Because some of you are just really more tuned in to thank you so much, Reggie Moore. The only problem is the word that you used, the P word. I can't put that on the screen, but thank you so much for your super chat. And what I'll do is still read it without using that word. Reggie Moore is saying he was liking P sites on Twitter recently. That was what I heard or saw in the comments on Twitter. But I didn't, nobody was screenshotting, and you know me, I'm a receipt king. I want to see it. So 53% of you saw this coming. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm saying a lot of y'all in the live chat saying she was disrespectful to him in public. So I can now see why he would be doing these sort of videos, because he like, I'm free. I don't have to be tortured anymore. I'm a zaddy. I'm a zaddy, and I still look good for my age and all that good stuff. Still got some moves on him. Still got his good hair. Still know how to look dapper. So he's been set free. Interesting. And they, they showing us you can find love at any age. Any age. All right. Well, that takes us to our next topic. I got this screen looking jumbled. I don't know what. I ain't noticed. Take that down. Take that down. We could have left that up, though. Keep that up. So now we have the other viral video is from this weekend. I've been seeing a lot of this lately, and I actually was going to cover this about a week or so, well, a couple weeks ago now. What did I just do? I was going to do a story about how these celebrities, these music artists, are starting to have issues with people doing really outrageous things while they're on stage performing. Like, these artists are at work performing and people are running up on the stage thinking that's appropriate. They're throwing their phones on the stage. They're throwing just all kind of items on the stage. And I don't know who raised these people. Like, there's no bound. I remember when I was growing up, and when many of us were growing up, celebrities were like untouchables. Like, they were almost like our kings or our prince and princesses. Like, there was a certain level of decorum or respect that you had to have for them, etc. And you wouldn't dream of disrespecting them or attacking them or touching them without their permission. And I think social media has honestly led us into this space of celebrities being so touchable because now they're on social media and you see what the inside of their houses look like. You see what they like to eat. You seeing them with their family. You seeing, you know, what they vacations, all of these things that we didn't see at all most times, or we only saw them in magazines here or there, or maybe lifestyles of the rich and famous. And that's one segment of an episode we might get to see what Madonna's life really looked like. So now it's like you got instant access on your phone to see any of your favorite celebrities, what they were last up to. And I think that's making them become too familiar in a way that people feel like these are just like their associates or friends. So the most recent situation of this is, because there was another story that I was going to do too and add into like the inappropriate things people are doing at these concerts. One person threw their mother's ashes on the stage when Pink, the artist Pink, was performing. And she reached down and she was like, "What is this?" And it was like, I think it was a baggie or something. And she's like, "What is this?" And they yell out, "It's their mother's ashes." And she was like, "I don't know how to feel about this." Like, she's like, "I'm feeling like this is very inappropriate." Just craziness. And I had already seen, you know, the stories of one artist, one of the fans, he threw a phone on the stage at her and it hit her in the face. She ended up with stitches. There was another artist, somebody threw a fan on a fan threw a phone on his stage. He's a rapper. He scooped it up and then tossed it way out into the audience, just way further than that person who had thrown it. But what I was hearing with the phone thing is that sometimes they're throwing the phone out for the artist to take a picture and throw it back. And I'm like, who started that? What? And I know you got, like me, I always have like a real solid OtterBox case. So I know this phone can take a beating for sure, but ain't no way I'm throwing this thing, 30, 20 feet onto somebody's stage in hopes that if they do take a picture, that it makes it back to me. What? These people. But anyway, here's the most recent situation from this weekend with Cardi B. And she was, I don't even know if I found out where. I might have just forgot. But she was performing at a concert, and this is what occurred. Wait, why is this? Oh. I forgot it's got music, like I can't just be playing it freely. So here's the thing I caught about it. So they did escort the person out. The part that I caught about it, for one, is everything I just said is very weird, odd behavior. Everything, I stand by that 100%. But now let's get into the shenanigans of it. Why is her? So she's supposed to be rapping, right? Why is the music still going with her voice and she no longer has a mic in her hand? Oh, I was cracking up. I was like, lip sync much? Who's doing that with rap? She in a nightgown. Well, that ain't no nightgown, but it's a gown, I guess. Don't y'all call it a gown? A little sarong thing of a jig. She can't rap. That she ain't finna be doing too much. She don't even do that much. Right. It's a backtrack. Well, it's a backtrack, but isn't the voice supposed to either be very low or not there at all? It's literally like she just lip syncing to that. Yeah, they do. I'm seeing Precious comment. They do. Let me take this down. I do wonder, because Beyonce, her stuff be tight. I wonder how much does she really like. I don't know. It's so good, but I'm really wondering how much of this is really Beyonce that we're hearing during her concerts. He probably felt like he was on punishment dealing with her nasty attitude. Oh yeah, with Richard Lawson. Yeah, I'm surprised the marriage still lasts as long as it did. See, I didn't know these things. Y'all exposing me to more than I knew. Zelle, so many rappers rap over their vocal tracks. Nobody wants to hear that. If I wanted to dance to the song, I would have stayed home and listened to Spotify. That's how I feel about it. I feel like at a concert, I want to hear your natural vocals. Hopefully they ain't too far off from what I hear on the radio or on, well, not the radio, I don't listen to the radio, but on my playlist. Oh, here we go. Precious is saying no, Beyonce sings live. I mean, I know when I'm watching, and I know people have said that. I know when I'm watching, it seems as though, because if she stops or does something, like it automatically, you don't see no slip ups or nothing. But she's a beast. She is a straight beast. I know Adele told people at her concert they better not throw anything at her because they will regret it. Yeah, I actually have. I think I saw that for sure. But when I was planning to do that story with y'all, that was one of the clips I definitely had. I may have it. Usually I record that stuff right away if I plan on using it, so I don't have to search for it. Lots of artists use backing tracks. They sing some live, then let the track play. Yes, and then they know the timing and all of that. Yeah, because I saw that when I saw Gladys Knight. It was Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, Stephanie Mills. I want to say that night. I've seen Stephanie Mills and Patti 2 or 3 times, so I sometimes get the days. But this was the one with Gladys. But I could tell Gladys Knight was doing that. She was singing live, but there were moments when the track kicked in. I could tell. I was security guard in the 1970s, and people went to concerts to have a good time, and makes out where the fun now. Yeah. Oh, I just clicked on that one. What's it? Is that my last? I think that's my last topic. That is my last topic. I am so happy. We get an hour and 47 minutes. That is amazing. And the other part is that, we're coming live again at, 7:45 p.m. Central, 8:45 Eastern. And so I need to get off of here so that I could get prepared for the night show. And it will be, I forgot what are we doing tonight? It's something with crooks. Oh, the fake breakup stunt. So I will be doing a deep dive. I'm gonna do an overview because I have we're gonna approach it again, and I'm gonna give even more backstory on it. But we're gonna specifically do an overview / deep dive on the incident itself when he pulled the stunt of the fake breakup with Jerome, and some other stuff, because we're gonna actually do the kind of week in review. That's also a segment we're adding in where we talk about the most recent shenanigans of him, the craziness, and then we'll move into the fake breakup. So it'll be another epic show. So I got to pull some clips. I got to do some editing and all of that so they can be all tight for y'all. So with that, thank you to everyone who joined us this afternoon. Please hit that like button if you have not. We have 247 likes, but we have nearly 100 more people than that in the chat. So viewing. So please hit that like button before you leave. And thank you to my moderators on the in the background. We have Alice Blesschild of Good, Marianne Coker, and Precious G. And then on the front end, Power Dynamics for Life. And I felt like I saw somebody else, but I'm not sure. If I'm missing you, Trey Keisha, and anyone else I may be missing. And then thank you to everyone else. And hopefully I will see you at 7:45 Central, 8:45 Eastern. Also, remember to, I pinned it in the top of the comment. In the top of the chat. That link will take you to everywhere where you can connect with me and stay connected. The VIP text group, the VIP text community, VIP Facebook group. That's where I send all of the notifications of when we're going live, etc. So join them so that you can get that information directly to your phone and you don't have to depend on YouTube possibly not letting you know. So with that, until next time or until later today, make sure y'all take care and be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.